everyone, welcome back to Tara's Lifestyle and Vlog, and thank you so much for stopping by. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about 5 major reasons why UK visa applications are delayed. Okay, but before I go on, my name is Tari, and on this channel, we talk about UK visas and immigration. We'll talk about life in the UK, how to safely and successfully travel to the UK, and how to navigate through life as an immigrant living in the UK. Now, if this sounds like something you're interested in, then please subscribe, turn on your bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my videos going forward. And to my returning subscribers, thank you all for always coming back to watch my videos. I appreciate every single one of you. You know that for every visa application you make to the Home Office, there is usually a processing time. Sometimes it's 3 weeks, sometimes it's 6 weeks, sometimes it's 3 months, 6 months, depending on what visa category you've applied for. However, even though we have this processing time, specified processing time, sometimes it takes longer, and this is the reason why we're doing this video. Some people's visa applications are supposed to take about 3 weeks, but it's taking up to 6 weeks and 8 weeks and more. And for people that are supposed to be for 3 months, they're taking 6 months and more. So why is this happening? So this is what we're going to be talking about today, okay? And I've done previous videos before, how to prevent visa processing delay, which I'll link up here for you so that you can have a look, just so you can get a better understanding of how to actually prevent UK visa application processing delays. Okay, so what is the major reason? What are the major reasons why UK visa applications are delayed? So the number one reason is if you have filled in the incorrect form. Okay, so for every visa, there's a particular form you need to fill. So for a student visa, there's a form to fill. For a visitor's visa, there's a form to fill, a different kind of form. For a spouse visa, there's also a different kind of form to fill. However, what some people do is they go on the gov.uk website and they fill in the first form that comes into that they come across, or the one that seems like it's right. So they fill in that form, and as a result of that, their visa application is delayed because they have filled in the incorrect form, and sometimes it could even be denied. Their visa application could be denied for this reason as well. Okay, so that's the number one reason. So to prevent this, you want to make sure that you're actually filling in the correct form online. Okay, so the second reason is if you've not provided the correct documentation, or if you've provided incomplete documentation. So if you are coming to the UK as a visitor, there are specific documents that will be required of you. If you haven't provided those documents, it means that you've not provided enough evidence to show that you're actually coming to the UK to visit. The same thing if you're coming to the UK as a student, you want to make sure you provide the right documents. For instance, your certificate of acceptance, your CAS. If you're coming on a sponsorship visa, you want to make sure you have your certificate of sponsorship. If you're coming as a spouse, you want documents like your marriage certificates and all of that. So these are some of the examples of documents that you need to provide if you are applying for any sort of visa at all. If you haven't provided this document, then it means that your visa could be delayed or even denied for that matter. And sometimes we provide some but not all, so it's the same thing if you've not provided all the documentation. So incomplete documentation can also lead to a delay or a denial in your application. So to prevent that, you want to make sure that you provide all the necessary documentation to back up your application. So if you're coming to visit, for instance, and you say to the Home Office that you've actually got something that you're going back home to meet, maybe a landed property, a job, or a business that you're going back to meet in your country, then you want to make sure you have evidence of those documentation so that the Home Office knows that you are actually going back to your country once your visit is over. Another reason why your application could be delayed is if you haven't completed the form itself. So you fill in the correct form. Remember, we said one of the reasons is if you filled in the incorrect one. So in this case, you filled in the correct form, but you haven't filled it completely. So you filled in some part, and maybe you're not sure of some questions. You decided to leave it blank. That could lead to a delay in your application. I always say, if you're not sure, if you're not comfortable enough to fill in your application, make sure you speak to an immigration advisor, a solicitor, someone that would help you. If you're not sure of the question, you can ask someone that's actually done such application before, so they can guide you on how to go about filling that application form, because if you filled it incomplete, in that case your application could be delayed or even denied for that matter. Another reason why your application will be denied or delayed is if your application is actually not straightforward. So some applications are not straightforward, they are very complicated. If there's something in your history that will mean that your application is not straightforward, maybe you've had a criminal record, or maybe you've been denied a visa before, something has happened in your history, or maybe you have documents that need to be verified. So those applications are not really straightforward. It might mean that they would need to call someone else to look into your application, someone else that's more senior to deal with the application. Therefore, it could actually lead to a delay in your application. Okay, so another reason is if they've asked for more documentation, they've sent you correspondence, email, but you haven't responded. So sometimes when the Home Office need more information, they will send you an email. They expect you to respond. If you don't respond, or you don't even know that they sent you that email, and sometimes our emails go to our junk, sometimes we delete emails without knowing. If that's your case, your application could be delayed for a long time until you go back to them and then get the information that they are looking for. However, sometimes our visas could be delayed even though we've planned and prepared. Sometimes we could make mistakes. Sometimes it could be from the Home Office, and our applications are delayed. What do you do if your visa application is delayed? So if you are in a position whereby you submitted an application and you see that your application is actually delayed, maybe it was supposed to be 3 weeks and it's now 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, then my advice to you will be to contact the Home Office. Okay, I've done video before on how to contact the Home Office, which I'll link up here for you. So I've done a step-by-step guide. There's a phone line that you can ring them. There's also email that you can contact them, or you can contact them online as well. Okay, so I'll link it up here for you so you can have a look. So if your application is getting delayed more than necessary, then by all means contact the Home Office to find out what's actually happening to your application, because it might be that they've sent you a correspondence, they sent you an email that you haven't responded to. Maybe they're waiting for more information, maybe they forgot, maybe someone was dealing with your application and then they went on annual leave. Well, I hope that's not the case, but you never know. Okay, so something could have happened, so you want to contact them to make sure that they are on top of your application. And if for any reason it's being delayed by your mistake, maybe they've sent you an email and you haven't responded, then you can do whatever it is that you want them to do. Okay, but this is just a quick one. I hope it's been helpful. If it has helped you, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And subscription is free, I must say that. But thank you so much. Leave your comments and questions in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer them for you. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video.